It's January 11. Ukraine Media Center Ukraine Forum continues its operation. My name is Vasil Samokhvalov, and joining us online is Vitalii Kim, the military governor of Mykolaiv region. Good afternoon, Mr. Vitalii. Good afternoon. Mr. Vitalii, there were news that Russians were shelling the south of Mykolaiv region for half the night. Can you tell us about the aftermath of those shellings and the aftermath of the shelling of Ochakov? Because for what we understand that we already realized the scale of damage, the number of houses destroyed, and the time necessary for reconstruction. Well, look, about 40 MLRS rockets were launched at Ochakov during the night. One person was injured. The, the damage and destruction, we still don't have the exact details about that. About the yesterday's shelling, that there was many buildings were damaged. I can only say that more than 200 installations were damaged, and now the reconstruction is in progress. Also, I can add that the Southern Command told us that the air defense forces shut down the Orlan 10 UAV in the same direction, in the same area. Well, the situation with the water supply, what's the situation with the water supply in the regional center, in the regional capital, and the region itself, and now with the lack of power, with the advent of freezing temperatures, do you have any problems with this? Yes, there are certain issues with water supply due to the lack of electric power. The situation improved a little bit recently. We use the brackish water. There are more emergency shutdowns in water supply networks, and but we keep working on all the emergencies. The reconstruction works are in progress. Any questions in the studio? Good afternoon, Ukrinform. I have two questions. Do you have any information regarding, can you comment anything regarding the return of clay factory to the state, and how do people survive in the Kinburn pit? Do you know anything about that? Well, first question, the works are in progress. And regarding the clay factory, it will not work for Russian military complex for sure. My initiative is to keep the jobs at that factory, but according to the procedure, it will be handed into the under the control of the Ukrainian government, and it will work in the interests of Ukraine, but there are still legal issues which are currently being worked on. Regarding the second question as to the Kinburn speed, the people live bad, they live under occupation, there is no mobile communication over there, but there are food reserves that they procured. They have access across the occupied territory. We don't have access there to provide any humanitarian aid to them, and that's probably it that I can say regarding the Kinburn spit. Okay, that's clear. Another question, how did the demographic situation change after the deoccupation of Kherson region? This is question number one. And did the business activity improve in the region? Because it was frozen due to the proximity of the front line. Well, I'm a little bit confused about the demographics, whether the population is growing or decreasing. Well, in simple words, are people coming back to the region? Yes, people do come back. The population increased not due to demographic processes, but as a result of migration processes. Now we have more than 100,000 people living in the regional capital. As to Kherson, could you please repeat your question? Does the business survive in the region, both big business and small and medium-sized business doesn't survive in the region now that the people will come back. Well, the big business is just evaluating the risks so far, because within the last couple of months, like 3-4 months, many industrial facilities were relocated. I don't think that they will come back shortly. So for big businesses, it would take time, but some big entrepreneurs do come back and deploy their activities here. As to the small and medium-sized businesses, which is mostly involved in services to the people, yes, they're coming back, but the business activity is still pretty weak. We need more time, we need safer conditions, and desirably to establish the grain corridor to make the business activity grow. Thanks a lot. Joining us was Vitalii, the military governor of Mykolaiv region, who told us about the situation in the region. Our next briefing is at 13:30. Joining us will be Dmytro Zhivitsky, the military governor of Sumy region. See you shortly.